Hello and welcome to Mississauga Business TV, where we innovate, connect, and grow. I'm your host, Robert Merdlanchi, and I'm excited to launch our first episode featuring leaders who are shaping one of Mississauga's most dynamic communities, Erin Mills. Today, we're talking about community growth, retail innovation, and what the future holds for business and residents in this vibrant community. Joining me today, Councillor Martin Reid, Ward 9, a strong advocate for smart growth and community engagement, and Tahira Tahab, who is the manager of Erin Mills Town Centre, a key hub for retail, lifestyle, and community connection. And this podcast is brought to you by the Mindshare Workspace in Erin Mills Town Centre. And our first, and thank you for being part of this inaugural podcast.
Honored to be here. This is good.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, it's interesting. We discovered that there wasn't a business show, so we thought we'd start it, and it's about storytelling. So we're looking forward to sharing stories. And Councillor Reid, let's start with you. Erin Mills continues to grow rapidly. It's election year for you this fall. No pressure. I think you've done a great job, by the way. And one of the most highly engaged councillors I know. You've been a big advocate for us here at the Mindshare Workspace. What's your vision for the community? The question is 5 to 10 years. Let's shorten that up because in the age of AI, everything moves at the threefold space. But talk to me about your vision of what you see in your next term.
Well, I feel like this is something that even before I came to council, I've been excited about because I am an entrepreneur and I own a business. So I'm always a champion for small businesses and for retail in general. So for myself, looking over the next 5 years, we keep talking about this pre and post COVID world. So the further we get away from that point, the more it's exciting to see retail getting stronger, experiences like the mall, people coming here and making an experience out of it. Tahira can speak to that more in depth. We've had many conversations about that. But to see retail grow, to see our small businesses in our neighborhoods thrive is really important. And at the city level, they have a whole economic strategy that they just rolled out, the Path to Prosperity. Did a big rollout with that, and it speaks very clearly to the importance of supporting retail and supporting our businesses for a thriving Mississauga.
Speaking of economic development, I have to say that, back in the day when we were looking to situate in Mississauga, EDO was a catalyst for us to shift from being in Toronto to Mississauga. And, I really embrace the notion of live, work, play in your own backyard, reduce your carbon footprint. I now drive an electric car and I drive 3 kilometers one way to work. My wife tells me I should walk or cycle, which I do, and sometimes rollerblade in the summertime. But, it's really a really tight ecosystem and very convenient. And Erin Mills Town Centre, it is truly a town center that serves the local community. That's why we're here. We're not in downtown Mississauga. It's very community oriented. And speaking of which, Tahira, from a retail community hub perspective, which we embrace, how is Erin Mills Town Centre evolving to meet the needs? We were part of, to give a little history, we were part of the future mall consultations and
reimagining the mall.
Right. And we were one of the most successful exhibits. We had over 100 people here featured in the promo video, and some really neat ideas emerged from that.
Yes. Well, thank you, first of all, Robert. This is a great initiative, and I'm really happy to be here. Yes, Erin Mills Town Centre has evolved, and it's basically because of community is evolving. It's a growing community, and we understand that, with the community growth, we need to evolve also. So we changed, as you said, it was part of the whole project of reimagining the center when we went through a major redevelopment back in 2015. And then we decided that, we wanted to make sure that, there's a balanced, retail mix here, which could be just like, the entrepreneurs like yourself and community partners. Obviously, we would like to attract some brands, but at the same time, we also support the local entrepreneurs and like the new business and the startups which contributes to the community, which can connect and relate to the community, and that's what is keeping us unique from like other centers, or even like being part of the community also.
Absolutely, and you have Rip Fest you've hosted here, and we did a startup challenge pre-COVID. Love to see that back with youth and Dragons Den style. So the center court, and it's an iconic renovation that was done. The food court is spectacular, and I believe it was over $100 million
100
investment.
million, and we have some very unique features that we are very proud of for at Aaron Mills. Like we are the only shopping center that has a outdoor patio, part of our food court, which is like very unique. Also serves a broader prospective during the summertime, where people can not only just come and enjoy, but also in yes, stay and communicate and connect here better.
Right.
And then our center court is also very unique with that glass globe that is an
Pretty
iconic, and now people can recognize it when you're actually flying over Mississauga. You can
Yes.
see that too.
Absolutely.
I've taken
And-
pictures of that multiple times.
Absolutely.
That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
And also the infinity pool that we have inside our center court
Right.
is also a very unique feature. So there's like there were some unique features that were placed just to bring the center to the modern century, and also evolving it to the new needs. But at the same time, I think what we really pride here is being part of the community. Aaron Mills has always been
Right.
like people's place, and we actually pride ourselves to be that.
Yeah, amazing.
If I could just top that
Yeah.
up too, I was going to say that as a city councilor for Central Aaron Mills area, we always regard Aaron Mills Town Center as another community center,
That's
much like
cool.
our
Yeah.
the Meadowville Community Center, Aaron Meadows Community Center, and Aaron Mills Town Center, because there's two Tai Chi groups that meet here. There are different things, activations that you have in the center court for mind, body, wellness type things.
Right.
So when you have big brands coming in, and people are excited about those big brands, and then they stay because they could do yoga in the morning, or they
Right.
get here before the mall
Absolutely.
opens. So one feeds the other. So we want the big brands. We also want the indigenous community doing a pop-up in the center, and those kind of things
Yeah.
are fantastic. So we're supporting every order of business.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And then, of course, the seniors mall walkers who I've gotten to know over the years always wave and say hello.
And
It's
you know
a
what?
place for
They
everyone.
are they're a very crucial part of our community, but also like they are part of our center also, because when they come here, they feel that they're safe. They can walk indoors. They can actually connect with other people. So this is becoming a more of a social hub for them also.
Absolutely.
And I think that's where the shopping centers are now changing.
Mhm.
We want it to be more of a place where people can come, connect, spend more time. And yes, obviously, our primary goal is
Buy
for them
something.
to shop.
Right.
Provide them with all those opportunities and the retail mix where they feel comfortable coming in and spending and shopping. But I think the experience is becoming more important for like families to come, connect, stay, which we are seeing a lot more. That people are spending more time. They're staying in the food court because they want to enjoy it as a family.
And a great addition was the movie theater.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
enjoy
absolutely.
going, and it's a real event experience.
It is, and then you will see that obviously we are kind of just like building on that momentum,
Right.
bringing more brands here, and Sephora just opened.
Yeah,
up, and like
that's a big one.
Good
Booster
Life for
Juice.
Women is going to
Oh,
open.
that's
very
exciting.
this year, and then Booster Juice to open.
Right.
And then obviously more brands that can support that momentum that we have just built, and will continue to evolve.
Absolutely. So retail has shifted dramatically, and COVID was a real catalyst for that. I think it flipped.
Mhm.
70% in person and then 30 online, and over COVID it flipped. But I think it's coming back.
It
People
is.
want to be social, right?
And to your point, as I just mentioned, that it is becoming more experiential. So
Mhm.
people like to come back to the center. People like to not only just come to go to the retail, try the clothes on, but also making sure that they're getting the full experience. So they make it as a shopping day where they're coming, trying the clothes on, having a lunch, getting a coffee,
Right.
and socializing, and then they go back.
Yeah, great food options, and we have guests that members here that come that live nearby, walk across the street, and they'll say, I feel anxious working at home, especially if the spouse is around. I would be anxious too, but they come here and they're productive.
Yeah.
I'm joking about that. My wife sees that. Mississauga city clerk, coincidentally, but it's creating the right conditions, right?
Yes.
So design thinking. I was just at this mental health summit on well-being in education, and intentionally they chose Banff, right? So you're in Banff, you're looking out the window and someone's speaking, and it's like so inspiring as people come to this mall. They're inspired by the beauty of the mall, the design, the center court, the food court, award-winning design, and then our workspace. That was intentionally designed to provide an experience for workers and learners. And I hope we've accomplished some of that. But
Such a welcoming space.
yeah, and talk to me, Counselor, about the retail elements here and how community fits into the equation. I know, if I'm not mistaken, they're using some retail spaces, and I was promoting you as one for the election. So I don't know if they reached out to you, but you want to be where the people are, right?
Absolutely. Well, for myself, community safety and well-being is the kind of the overarching theme with everything that I do. So when you look at that from that perspective, within our community, the well-being is their economic well-being as well, right? And if people can,
It's a good point.
we need to be able to have a job and have, like, I like the fact you work close to where you live, like, this is their neighborhood. So it's really, really important that economic stability is part of their community safety, their psychological safety too, right?
Right.
When they know where the next meal is coming from. It's a lot different than when we're dealing with food insecurity, which is
Right.
a major issue within the city.
It's been a tough
Our young
economy,
people,
right?
our young people, like, I'm sure, Robert, you could speak to this. Like, youth unemployment was at a record high last year.
It
like,
has
there's
been.
a lot of those things come into it. So, for myself, when I'm knocking on doors and I see someone has a small business, well, how do we support them? Well, I point them to you. I point them to ID at Mississauga. Even like this brand that I'm wearing right now, like Jason Falcon, Spread Love. To hear him mention, like, let's talk to him about having getting his kiosk or a pop-up. Like, so I meet those connections on the front lines, and then we find ways to weave them into the overall economic infrastructure ecosystem that we have within the city.
Yeah.
So
No, that's brilliant. And I think creating those opportunities, and as you met our interns from university and high school, and we take interns as well to come in, and if they're not working, I encourage them to come and spend time here, network, and get to know people. And better to be here looking for a job than at home in a room by yourself. It's about people. It's about human connection. And coincidentally, the name of my book that's coming out in the next month or so is Being Human in the Age of AI. So as much as we talk about innovation and AI and online, people love to go, by nature, we love to connect. And that was the summit, the conference was all about. My conference that I host for my education company at the University of Toronto is about being human in the age of AI, and it's about human connection. And that's what you provide in terms of opportunities for your community, and then also the employees that are here as well.
Absolutely.
Right? It's about that experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
So looking forward into the future.
Yes.
What could we do better? I'm always, this is something that I embrace, when I hear positive things, and we're 4.9 out of 5 on Google in our workspace reviews. And, with the most reviews of any co-working space in the GTA, because we care, right? Because we care. And I always emphasize to our students when they're walking around, they learn entrepreneurship here. And I say, you walk around, you look on the floor. If you see something, pick it up. And I saw a notable CEO recently interviewed on Bloomberg pick stuff up off the floor, because that's 5%.
It's all about ownership.
Yeah.
Wherever you're working
Yeah.
or you're studying or you're living, if you consider that as your place and you take the ownership, that's when you start seeing the change, because
Right.
it changes people's mindset, it changes their perspective, and I think that's when you see the growth happening. And again, it is important. We're providing them with the tools,
Right.
that will help them and kind of just achieving that.
Well, example we just saw right here of what Robert, when your co-op student came over and said, well, this is your opportunity to network, go introduce yourself. And he introduced himself and he said, well, shake their hand.
Yeah.
Right? Like that human connection, like those are online. People aren't learning that through AI. Like remember to actually physical contact, look in their eyes. Like those are things that make a determination whether you get the job or not.
Right.
Whether you have a great AI developed resume or not.
Also, when they're staying at home, they lose that human connection.
Yeah.
And I think we kind of just steered away from it during COVID. We are continuously referring it back to that time. But again, I now that we are coming back, I think it's that human connection, that whole ability to connect and be there in person makes a huge difference. I'm a firm believer of that.
Yeah.
I would rather pick up the phone and call someone than going back and forth on texting, because I'm like, I would rather do that.
Yeah.
Really, this is the old school, but I think it works.
A lot gets lost in translation too, right?
Yes, because you
into an
can't
intonation.
translate human emotions. Your tone, your voice tells a lot more than when you're writing.
Absolutely.
Words.
Yes.
Yeah, well said. So there's always opportunities here at the mall. There's Mind Your Own Business competition that comes up in the fall.
Yeah, we
And
support.
you have a little bit of vacancy if they're the right fit.
So we work on a lot of programs.
Mhm.
We have that, local markets that we
Right.
bring these people, individuals, through that, and that gives them an opportunity to see and experience air mills and the retail and the customer. And then we have that Mind Your Own Business initiative where we invite local entrepreneur and business startups to participate in a competition. And then we select the top 3, which they get a free time,
Right.
in the shopping center, which is a great opportunity. And we have amazing success stories that, one of our retailer that is right now Purple Oven Bake
Right.
came through that program
Right.
and now is actually part of our retail.
Right. And I enjoy being a judge on that panel. Yeah.
And we have another one that is actually was part of our last year, winner. And he's also going to come back very soon, that as being part of our retail mix. So those are the success stories that where we're supporting the local businesses.
Yeah, very inspiring.
And at the same time, we work with our current retailers, and if there's any opportunity for them to expand or come out of their space, maybe in the center court, we'd like to do that.
I love that center court space. Maybe we can talk offline. I know
Sure.
a little more expensive than my space here, but Councillor Reid, how can local businesses better engage with the community and the city from your perspective?
Well, I'll let everyone in on a little secret. Tahira and I will speak whenever there's a new tenant in Airmills Town Center. She'll send me a message, and then we'll get a certificate from the city, and then we'll go over and do a congratulations and a welcome. And that's a key part for me, is supporting, amplifying, and connecting. So when a new business starts up, we can amplify that. Now it's on the city website, it's on Airmills website, and we're doing that sort of thing. That's a great start point. It just affirms every new, any new tenant that they're part of the family now. And like Rag Stop's a great example of that. Like referring people to them all the time. Some young people that have a great vintage clothes business in here. So
Yeah.
I just want to always encourage the people who are coming into Air Mills that they're seen by the city, they're supported by the city,
Right.
and we have everyone has the best intent for them to succeed here.
Absolutely. I was just in there coincidentally this morning checking out the F1 jackets
Oh.
and the soccer
Yeah. They
jerseys.
have some very unique items there.
I was trying to look for an Italy soccer jersey, but hoping that they might get inserted into the World Cup. But I don't think that's going to happen. So sadly, but my wife's Croatian, so I got someone to cheer for. But so if you're a local business owner, entrepreneur, or community leader with a story, DM us if you'd like to appear on the show. Thank you so much for being part of our inaugural show. I'm Robert Merdlanchi, and this is Mississauga Business TV, where we innovate, connect, and grow. And until next time, stay healthy, stay safe, and keep the learning curve and the profit curve steep.